Hey there everyone, PhilChill here and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do a ranking video of all of the farm layouts in Stardew Valley. I already made a video about the farm layouts, but that was for the 1.5 update, when the beach farm was introduced. And now that the 1.6 update got released, we got a brand new farm layout, which is the Meadowlands Farm. I have also played around on the different farms in the game and my thoughts have changed since then. So today, we'll do our new ranking of the top farm layouts in Stardew Valley. But before we begin, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and consider pressing the subscribe button to get notified of my future updates. And the best part, it's totally free. So let's get into it. Now, at the 8th spot on the list, I have the Wilderness Farm. In the past, for me, it was on the 5th spot, but after playing on some of the other farms, it really took a nosedive to the 8th spot for me. The Wilderness Farm is quite straightforward, and has a lot of tillable soils spread around the farm, but not as much as the standard farm layout. On the right side of the farm there is a grassy border with a cliff, where it further limits the area you can use on the farm, and the grass ground can probably be used to plant some trees or place beehives to use that area to the most. The middle of the farm has a giant pond, and at the left bottom side of the farm there is an access to a lake which will have various mountain lake fish in it. And towards the middle left of the area above the lake, there is a huge cliff going towards the middle of the farm, further limiting the usable area on the farm, which can be quite annoying. The Wilderness Farm also has the option for monster spawning. In the past it was exclusive to this farm, but now you can activate that option on all of the farms, making the Wilderness Farm a bit useless. The only exclusive monster to this farm is the Iridium Wilderness Golem, which spawns at combat level 9 or higher, and it can drop iridium or seeds. Getting extra seeds from monsters would be beneficial at the start, but afterwards it can be annoying always to fight on the farm, and if you're going home while low on HP and one of them hits you by accident and knocks you out, imagine losing some precious items that you had on yourself. So that's why this farm is on the 8th spot for me. Next up, I have the previous 7th spot holder, and that is the Riverlands Farm. In the past video, that one was on the last spot, but after playing on it for a bit, the feelings changed. It's still one of the hardest maps to start on because the waterways take up a lot of the area on the farm, leaving you with only a few places that you can use for farming and building. I don't suggest this farm for beginner players, but you can still give it your best. It's quite important to plan out the farm layout ahead, so you have a general idea which area you will use for something. The farm has more water than farmable soil, and it was made with fishing in mind, but most of the time you won't do that, since it won't be worth it in the long run, even while using crab pots. But with the introduction of the fish smoker in the 1.6 update, now when you start a brand new playthrough on the Riverlands Farm, you start with one fish smoker on the farm. So you can now at least smoke the fish you catch so you can sell them for a bit more gold than usual. That's the new change from the 1.6 update that made the Riverlands Farm a bit more viable in playing it. But I still think that this map gives you the biggest challenge in Stardew Valley. Next up, on the 6th spot I have the Beach Farm, which was added in the 1.5 update of Stardew Valley. The beach farm is pretty unique. It's surrounded by the ocean on all of the sides, and it has a huge sandy area where you can plant crops. The only big downside for me, and the main reason it's placed so low on the list, is that you can't place sprinklers in the sandy soil, meaning you have to manually water everything or just use retaining soil and hope it retains the water from the day before. There is a small normal planting area to the bottom left which you can use sprinklers on, and also a nice patch of grass where forageable items may spawn, and where you can probably place a few buildings to use up the space efficiently. Fishing in the waters will give you ocean fish and rarely some ocean forageable items, which are found at the beach. There is also a small chance a supply crate to wash up on the beach, which will have some nice usable items that can help you on the farm. This farm is not intended as a beginner farm, due to the difficulty with the watering, which will use up a lot of your energy if you have a big farm. My suggestion for this is to focus mainly on animals and fish ponds for the greatest income you can have. Now on the 5th spot I have another more harder farm layout to play on, and that is the Hilltop Farm. As the name suggests, the farm area is located on a bunch of hills where they are further separated by a river, which aesthetically makes the farm look amazing. But all of those aspects highly limit the available farming area. That's why this farm is also intended for more seasoned Stardew Valley players, where you have to work with a limited farming area and building area as well, unlike some of the other farms we have covered so far. The biggest upside to the farm is the quarry, which is found on the bottom left hilltop on the farm. The quarry generates stone, ore nodes and geode nodes, which depend on the mining level of the player. The quarry usually respawns 7 to 13 items on every 4th day, which makes it the best time to clear out the quarry. The large river flowing downwards to the Cindersap forest really makes the farm have a unique feeling, and you can even catch river fish there. This makes the farm layout hard, but aesthetically pleasing, where you can create a lot of combinations with decorations. And I think it's still a great farm nonetheless, but a bit harder to start on. At the 4th spot I have the Standard Farm, which is one of the best farms to begin your journey in Stardew Valley. The majority of the map is farming land, which is the best for crops and animals. You can place sprinklers without any worries, and you have a full blank canvas to work with. There are a few ponds spread around to help you get water at the start of the game, and afterwards you can make them look even better with decorations. The huge farming area makes it perfect for all of those players out there that just want to plant every single tile with crops for the maximum profit. The only downside to this farm would always be the look. There is no variety in the farm, unlike the other ones, and it's only filled with tillable tiles. So you'll have to use your imagination and decorations to make the best looking farm out there, but it's still one of the greatest farms to start on. And at the 3rd spot I have the Four Corners Farm. This farm was made with multiplayer in mind, and it separates the farm to 4 different corners, with each one having their own little thing. This farm can also be used solo, where the different areas can help you choose which corner you would use for which activity, like planting, keeping animals and artisan goods. The bottom right corner even has a small quarry, and the bottom left one has a small lake. The need to build fences is quite gone, since there are natural walls spread around the farm. It's the most optimal farm for co-op, where each can choose their own corner without having to fence off areas. I quite like the Four Corners map, where you can use the decorations to make the best looking farm out there, making this farm the perfect choice for new players and seasoned ones as well. At the 2nd spot on my list I have the newly added Meadowlands Farm. This farm was added in the 1.6 update and has the biggest change to a start in Stardew Valley. Players start out with a coop and 2 chickens, which are randomly named. And instead of the 15 parsnip seeds, we get 15 pieces of hay. This farm is special in the sense it has a different kind of grass, which is the chewy bluegrass that animals love. It appears naturally on the farm, but the recipe can be bought in Key's Walnut Room for 40 gems, which will allow you to have this grass on the other farms as well. Animals eating bluegrass gain twice as much friendship points, and if sighted it will produce 2 pieces of hay. The look of the farm is also interesting, where we have Grandpa's shrine split from the main farm with a little creek, making it a unique area for decorations. The tillable soil is limited, yes, but not by a great margin, which will let you still have a decent area that you can use for crops. The farm was made with the intention of focusing on animals, so there are a lot of grass tiles where you can place buildings for that purpose. But at the end of the day, it's all up to you. The mushroom cave is found at the bottom right side of the farm, and the general look of the farm with the river, waterfall, small hills and decorations just make it a great looking farm for me. And at the top spot on my list is the Forest Farm. For me, the Forest Farm will remain one of the best farming layouts out there, making a great combination between nature and tillable soil, having the perfect balance. The farm border is made from trees and foliage, like the one in the Secret Woods, giving you a mystic vibe, and a few forest clearings just top it all off. The forest clearings have 8 renewable hardwood stumps that respawn every day, even before getting access to the secret woods. The forest farm has special weeds that when sighted will always drop mixed seeds, making it easier for you at the start. And the forest clearings also have forageable items that can spawn on them. There are also a few ponds spread around the map, and if you fish there, it has a small chance of catching a wood skip, which is important for the community center bundles. Even though the farmable space is limited, you still have enough to begin a decent sized crop field that you can use in combination with the forest clearings to have a really beautiful looking farm. And to top it all off, I just love the way the forest farm looks in the different seasons. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts on all of the farm layouts in Stardew Valley. Which is your most favorite farm layout now, and on which one have you spent the most amount of time in? Let me know down below. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and please don't forget to press that like button and subscribe to the channel so you get notified of my future videos. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all in my next one. But till then, stay safe.